welcome to episode 6 of the Spartan Tool Procast, brought to you by the International Institute of Sewer and Pipe Cleaning, where you can send your technicians to a 2-day course, get trained by the best in the industry, and get certified as a drain cleaner. You can contact those guys at www.sewerinstitute.com. I am your co-host, Mike Sekach, and with me, as always, my partner in crime, Eric Boonstra, and our lovely producer, Emily Simmons, in the background. Eric, Emily, how you guys doing today?
We're good. We're socially distant.
Okay, good. At least 6 feet. All right. Hey, so special episode today. We have our friends from StoneAge, Ann and Frank, here with us. But before we get into that, Emily, I'm going to toss it over to you. We had a great episode 5 last week with Mark Cox over in the UK. You want to recap that for our viewers?
Yeah, absolutely. Mark talked a little bit about what the COVID-19 situation in the UK is. He gave us an overview of the van pack jetters. Rionet is our partner for the Urban Series line of van pack jetters. So we talked a little bit about those van packs versus trailers, when you might want to use one over the other, the best applications for them, and how economical those van packs are, and how quickly those will pay for themselves. So if you're interested in a van pack jetter, check out episode 5. It's on Facebook and on YouTube.
Awesome. Thank you, Em. Mark Cox, thanks again for being on with us last week. So again, today we have our friends at StoneAge, Ann and Frank, with us. So without further ado, Ann, Frank, welcome to the Procast.
Hey, thanks, guys. I'm glad you're with us today.
Hey.
So
thanks for having us.
Listen, we're not cheap. We just can only fit 4 people on the screen at one time. So Emily, over here, I'm sharing space today at a safe distance. Anyway, all right, let's jump into this. We got a half hour, and I know Frank's got a freaking notebook, like a phone book to talk about today. So I don't want to deny Frank any time. So, Ann, we're going to start with you. We're going to go ladies first. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, just really quickly, I live here in Durango, Colorado. It's beautiful. I live on the Animas River, so working from home isn't too bad. Right out my window, I have the river view. Durango, Colorado is the home of StoneAge, which is a manufacturer of Warthog Nozzles. So I am the person that's here locally. Remember that Warthogs are made in the USA. Right now, I'm coexisting in my house with 3 dogs, 1 cat, and 1 college freshman taking online classes. So it's an interesting world here.
Yeah, my youngest has been home since March, and I'm about losing my mind. So love her, but I'm losing my mind. Frank, what about you, buddy?
Frank, I'm in the wonderful big town of Streator, Illinois. So in Streator, Illinois, there's not a whole lot to do other than concentrate on sewer and sewer partnerships with Spartan.
Nice.
So I have two daughters. One's a hairstylist in Chicago, and when you always hope for your kids, you always hope for the best. But when she said she wanted to be a hairstylist, I just shook my head. But when I seen some of the cost and some of the charges that she's doing up there just to simply get your hair cut, is probably a pretty good choice.
Well, your hair looks good, Frank.
Yeah.
This is, I took a lot of time to prep for this, Mike, because this is very important for me. I did use the special brush she gave me and the special gel, and I used the gray lightning color compound in it just to get the right tint.
Right there.
My other daughter, she's a go-getter and she wants to be an engineer. So hopefully she'll make it through that. And then we had a little boy late in life. And his whole goal is to be, and I've never heard of this before because I'm old, a professional gamer. So
there's some money in that.
Yeah.
That's what he keeps telling me. So, but all 3 of them agreed. Then I have a beautiful wife of 19 years, and she runs our family business. And some of the things that a lot of people didn't know how I become to get into the lucky position that I'm at now at Warthog is I was raised in a salvage yard, so I always had widgets and parts and always doing stuff. And I was always amazed at mechanisms and how they work and everything. And so with that said, I worked at I started out in the industry in 1984, quite a while ago. worked my way up, and I finally made it over to StoneAge in 2010 to be the dealer manager. And with that, it's just been a successful, fun trip. We meet a lot of great people, and we have a lot of great business partners, and we have special partners like Spartan Tools. So that's just a little bit about me. In the 36 years, I still enjoy it because we learn every day about the industry, for the industry, and with the industry.
Well, since Frank kind of doubled down and almost jumped into the next one, how long have you been at StoneAge, Frank?
This is going on my 10th year. We're like at 9 3/4 if you really wanted to count the days.
Gee, I'd like to know days, hours, and minutes if you would, please. And how about you? How'd you get started in the industry?
Well, I came from a very different path. I've been at StoneAge for about 3 years. Just in June, it'll be 3 years. And I started on the high pressure side. We're also known for high pressure automated equipment and nozzles on the high pressure side up to 40,000 PSI. And then I went to the wet show, and Frank was having a rough time covering all the customers and partners that came to the booth. And so I went over and worked with him. I said, that's it. This is what I want to do. I love these guys. I love our partners, our OEM partners like Spartan. And I just asked if I could do it. And it turned out that Frank wanted to have some help. And I luckily got to jump in there. It's been a little bit of a learning curve because I don't have that technical background, but it's been fun learning from Frank and learning on the jobs we go out on, and from guys like Spartan. I've loved it. It's been absolutely fabulous. It also makes me feel really proud that we're an essential business, and in this time we can really see that. We're keeping health and hygiene, and what's more important than that, right? We keep the world civilized. I think there's nothing more important than that. So we always talk about the unsung heroes, and that's the plumbers, cleaners, sewer cleaners of our country. And without our business and what they do, we'd be in a lot more of a world of hurt than we are right now. So I'm very proud to be able to be in this business.
Yeah, Mike and I are proud plumbers. I get on a little bit of a rant of terror when I see everybody in these commercials, and obviously the nurses and the doctors and the people that are on the medical front, they are truly the front line. But I don't think plumbers and drain cleaners are getting any of the recognition that really they deserve in this environment, because we've talked about, I've posted this on some of our social media on Facebook. Studies are beginning to find about COVID and showing up in raw sewage. The coronavirus, the SARS virus back in a few years back was shown to stay in raw sewage active and viable for up to 14 days. So it's essential. It's important. Hats off to the plumbers and drain cleaners that are out there doing this every day as well, because they're just as vulnerable in my opinion as some of these other workers. But hats off to the doctors and nurses out there. They're truly the ones on the very front line. So, hey, you touched on something a second ago. So for a lot of our viewers that may not know, I've been to the WJTA functions. I was a speaker there one time, but the Water Jet Technology Association, that's a big deal. And tell guys, give the viewers just a basic overview of what the difference is between what we do with hydrojetting up to 4,000 PSI and how that compares with the high pressure side, just real quick, just so if somebody's wondering and they understand what the difference is there.
Yeah, primarily we work with companies that do industrial cleaning. So that could be in oil refineries, that could be in a methane. Is it meth? No, I'm saying the wrong word.
Methane.
Yeah, so they need to clean all the different like evaporators and different equipment that is in an industrial situation. They don't have the ability to, have a truck in there. They have a completely different situation. And at those high pressures, it's extremely important that they are not too close to the job that they're doing. So StoneAge has been an innovator in automated equipment that allows an operator to stand off of the job and do with a control box and have much more safety. And also we've been innovating in some new robotics and all kinds of cool stuff that the computer senses where the tube holes are, and they can shoot the rods in there. But it's a much more convoluted process. Most of the time when they built these plants and these industrial places, they didn't think about the cleaning, and these guys have to come up with really innovative ways to get them clean. So they're cleaning out a lot of different variety of things as well, and they don't necessarily know what it might be. So it's a lot of complications in that side.
Yeah, it's not hydrojetting in the traditional sense that we talk about. We're talking water. Some people refer to it on that side as water blasting.
Right.
Right. We're talking surface preparation, whether it's concrete, it could be a ship hull. Removing crustacean, barnacle type stuff, but we're talking, 10 to 40,000 PSI, right?
Right.
And StoneAge offers a product for that. So I just wanted to make sure we kind of touched on that real quick, just in case anybody's curious. So,
yeah, but some of the safety things also apply. It's always important. I think sometimes on our side, people maybe are a little more lax about that because they don't feel like maybe it's not as dangerous, but we are still in a dangerous thing. And I know you always talk about proper protection, and we try to say that as well. It's important. We want everybody to be safe. A water blasting injury, it could be on the sewer side or any side, could be extremely dangerous. And a lot of times when you go to get your medical help, they don't know what that injury is and they can mistreat it. So it's important to talk about that side as well.
Yeah, absolutely. No, water jetting at any pressure is a dangerous situation if you're not being safe and don't know what you're doing. There have been fatalities, unfortunately. So yeah, it's very serious. So, all right. So let's jump into our side of things, though. So tell me what your favorite StoneAge product is and why.
Did we lose Frank?
Where's Frank?
We did lose Frank. If he tries to join again, I'll put him back in, but I haven't seen him yet.
Frank?
Oh, darn. Well, he was going to actually hold up the nozzles. His favorite nozzle, maybe I shouldn't speak for him. I was going to say that my favorite is the WS, which is the nozzle that comes with the whip hose. You can also have a straight inlet if you'd like, but the nice thing about it also has a jointed option. There's 3 options, and it's just really great for maneuvering through bends. You have a lot of different options with that nozzle. It's extremely powerful. You can also order it with the descaling ports, so you can really get a lot of stuff out of your lines. And I really like that product. Frank was going to talk about the WT. That one is a little bit of a smaller nozzle that also has a lot of power and is a little bit better for maybe more bends and possibly of a harsher angle. But really, one of the things I wanted to point out, which is a favorite of mine, is our service kits and our overhaul kits. A Warthog is a little bit of a complicated kind of almost like a machine. So if you can take care of that Warthog, you can keep a nozzle for years and years and years if you just take care of it. Our braking system in there is fairly simple. It's a viscous fluid. It's something that doesn't break, but it does need to be replenished. And there's very easy ways to do that. So I love the service kits because for a small price, you can keep that nozzle going for years and years, and that investment really pays off. We have on our website the explanation of how to do that. We actually have videos that focus on just the nozzle and step-by-step how to do the servicing. So I love that too.
Awesome. Well, I know Mike's got some questions on the branding, so I'm going to turn that over to Mike. There's
We
Frank!
got Frank back.
Frank's coming back. Wait a minute. Hang on, Mike.
Come on,
So-
Frank.
Wow.
I neglected to tell you in Streeter, Illinois, our web providers have to come through so many different antennas to get down this far. We have to shoot the Wi-Fi connection with the sunlight. So sometimes it takes a little bit of time, but I apologize for that. I don't know. I could hear and see you guys, but I just went away. It was like a mission I was on. But
Well, we're going to get you a tin can and some string. So, yeah. Anyway, hey, listen. So I don't know if you heard what we were saying. We were talking about Ann's favorite product. Can you hold up that WT for us?
WS.
There's a
To it.
okay, so these are
Mine is the WS.
this is
Mine
our
too, Ann.
This is our WS.
That's the big boy. I love it.
Okay, so this is the one that comes 3 different ways. It comes with a jointed model, so you'll have an eye inlet here that's able to move the hose better, easier. And then we also have the model that you screw your rotor hose right into the nut of the nozzle. And the reason we put the hose on there, the whip hose, and it's our most common one, is a couple things. It just, prevents the sacrifice of the beginning of your other hose, and it does have a tighter bend radius.
Nice.
The jointed model also does too. And then we have available for our teaching, we have cutaways that we're able to explain, how the mechanism works. And this nozzle comes in different configurations. One of the larger selling portions of this nozzle is our descaling heads. So we're able to put jets out the side and watch the impact from the high stream impacts the wall better and removes more debris.
Awesome.
So
Well, what's your personal? You got a personal favorite yourself, Frank, or
All of them.
all of them?
All of them have a
Attaboy.
unique story. However, the WT kind of falls into my favorite realm because of the
But I
simplicity.
said a WT.
Yeah, this is called a WT. So a WT, it's a ball type nozzle. I like it because of several different things. It has a 30-degree angle. You can clean a little bit larger pipes for it. We've reduced it down to 2 orifices in the back. And when we reduce orifices down, we make the orifices much larger, so it gives you a better wall impact. We use a thicker fluid in them, which slows the dwell time down, which is able to concentrate that large stream on the inner side of the impact of the wall. So as getting stuck, it's pretty rare that it does. So that's why it's my favorite nozzle. I like that WT. And then we've just introduced the WT 1/2 inch for up to 21 gallons a minute.
Nice. Nice. Mike, what do you got?
Yeah, so my favorite, Ann, is definitely the WS with a 1/2 inch whip on there. Been using it since 2003. I absolutely love that nozzle. And I think the partnership, we call it our Spartanship here with StoneAge and Spartan Tool. You can see the old robust models that we have behind Eric. That's our museum pieces. But it's just nice to partner with somebody that has a bulletproof product like yourselves. I mean, Eric and I have been TMs and we've met with thousands of customers. Eric, how many times have we seen a WS that was dragged behind a truck for 50 miles? And still going. But they drop it off the truck, pick it up, and it's still going. So, and I'm really glad that you touched on the service kits. Guys out there, it's super imperative. I mean, it's just like your vehicle. You can't run your vehicle and not change fluids in it, right? So, these heads are not cheap. We need to take care of them. The worst thing that happens to Eric and I or any territory managers when we go out to look at a nozzle that's not working, we say, hey, where's your service kit? When's the last time you serviced it? I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, well, let's have a talk about that. So, and then branding. So I want to get into this new brand that you guys are creating. So our Spartan logo up here right by Eric. It's tough. I love it. I'm super prideful of it. But your new Warthog logo in the back, I absolutely love this logo. So, and walk me through, what are you guys doing with branding right now? And let's talk about the Hog Squad.
Awesome. Thank you for that intro. That's great. Yeah, we decided to make that Warthog a little more fierce, a little more updated. And along with that, we're doing a lot of great things. We have a marketing guru, our friend Kelsey, and she's getting us ramped up for social media. And really the whole point of that is to do better, as Spartan does with the territory managers. Your guys are out in the field. They're that trust support. They're the people that really are on the ground. We want to enhance that through Warthog. So we started the Hog Squad, which is a loyalty program, really to get closer to our customers. We will be sharing that with our partners at Spartan as well, but ways to get just promos and extra information and just be part of the club, a sticker, socks. Right now we're running a promotion that Spartan is partnering with us on. We have a sale on our nozzles. It's a 10% discount that Spartan's helping us with, and you get a free service kit with that to get you started on the right foot, plus the decals and the stickers. But the main point is to get closer to the customers and partner better with our partners like Spartan. And that's really something we're paying more attention to our plumber and drain cleaner partners. And that's just one part of what we're going to be doing. If we have a new website that Kelsey just put up for us, it's Warthog Nozzles, and that's all about Warthog. So we just continue to do that, and try to get closer and better partners with like Spartan.
Yeah, I think branding is super important. And I mean, that's what we hear a lot of our customers talking about on their podcast, on different social media outlets. I mean, I think you guys have done an amazing job with this new brand and promoting the Hog Squad. So we're definitely excited about it. So Frank, what can we look forward to in the future?
Come on, Frank, we want the secrets.
I want everything.
It's guys, it's just top secret.
Right.
Yeah.
So what we have, every day at StoneAge, we're trying to thrive to make the best tools that we can and better the tools that we have. So we have a group of engineers that are very special. I mean, these guys are great guys to work with. They're easy to explain stuff to. So what Ann and I do when we learn from teams like Spartan and your customers out in the field, we take information back to our engineering teams, and they're always documenting, they're always looking at it. We're looking at, different ways to do viscous fluid through our tools, make them last longer. So the longevity of life cycles we're looking into, and more durable tools and different body designs and shapes. Like I said earlier, that WT, in my opinion, a great tool. I mean, it's not likely for it to get caught on fractures. If you fin it, meaning putting a bar behind it, you can get through pipes that are completely broke out and go through that obstruction there. So every day we're looking at making our products better, not only to keep up with the market, to keep ahead of the market and create that demand and need.
Well, keep it coming, Frank. I mean, that's a very special product for us. I mean, we have warthogs flying out the door all day long. So keep the stuff coming, Frank. We look forward to it.
Yeah, that's awesome. We love the innovation. We love the partnership. It's fantastic. So don't stop now, Frank.
Well, hopefully through the loyalty program, people will give us their feedback on the nozzles and things they'd like to see, because we do want to be responsive to the market. And that's one of the reasons we love partnering with you guys. You have your guys in the field. They know the users. They understand the issues that come up. So hopefully we just keep getting better.
Yeah, that's been good. I mean, I think Frank and I have had several conversations on the WV nozzle, and some changes were made based around those conversations. So that's all good stuff. There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
It's just a tool like that. The return on investment is just absolutely incredible. I mean, a couple jobs it's done. And think about how much money that little tool is making you. It's incredible.
Well, I think that we'll talk too about, the rebuild on some of those nozzles, the WTs, the WS, just as an example, those nozzles, guys can have those nozzles for years, and if they go bad, I mean, they can be rebuilt, right?
Yep.
That's the hardest thing we have. That's our biggest challenge is not so much on our little tools, but on our larger tools. When an operator gets them and he takes care of it, it's pretty much impossible to sell him a new one.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we gotta keep innovating, Frank. So
that's why we're hoping that it accidentally gets left on the hose. Earlier.
On the highway, that's about the only way to destroy them.
Yeah, I mean, we have that same problem too, but it's really hard to lose a 1065 off the back of the truck.
Yeah.
So you guys are in better shape than we are.
But that's kind of hard to do. So, got a couple. It looks like we got one question. Matt asks, says there are drop head nozzles in the market. Does StoneAge offer any kind of drop head nozzle?
That's a good comment to take back to engineering. We can definitely look into that. right now we just have the traditional nozzles that we have.
Yeah, and again, coming back to the WS, I mean, the whip on that, right? I mean, the flexibility that should act to drop.
Well, these are more so, Eric. There's a couple small nozzles that are on the market now. They look like basically an open or closed nozzle, and there's 3 or 4 of them on there, right? And it just kind of inch and a half, 2 inch line. So yeah, I mean, we Eric and I and our engineering team have definitely had our fair share of meetings with Ann and Frank and their team about our 717s, our 727s. I think that's a good thing about this partnership too, is that we're constantly in communication with each other. I mean, Ann and Frank have been at our facility countless times testing things with our engineers. So yeah, I mean, any feedback that you guys have or anything that you'd like to see, please feel free to reach out to any one of us. And typically we're pretty good to get on it right away for you.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that all being said, we've got about 4 minutes, so let's work into some closing thoughts. Each of you have any closing thoughts for our viewers today? Ann, we'll start with you. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but ladies first.
Well, just thank you everyone for listening to us and hopefully using the nozzles. And remember that you can buy the best equipment. You can buy great stuff with Spartan, but you also may need to make sure you get a great nozzle with that to do everything you need to do and get your money for the jobs that you're doing. We know your reputation is important to you, and we're trying to make sure that we help you keep that and do better and make money in the marketplace and be this essential, wonderful worker that we know you are.
Frank, I know you got some words of wisdom. What do you got?
Well, that's this whole thing is pretty hard to beat with, especially following Ann. But we're the same at StoneAge. We just want to thank everybody, and we especially want to thank all the plumbers and drain cleaners on the economical conditions today and the challenges they have with the can you work or can't you work? Should you go in that house? Shouldn't you not go in that house? So we just want to make sure that all of our teammates and all of our customers understand that we're there for you, and we'll do the best we can do to help everybody through these challenging times that we're seeing today.
I'm sure our customers appreciate that, Frank. And you just touched on something. I mean, you could have the biggest, baddest Spartan warrior on the block, but if you don't have the right tool to do the job, it's useless sitting there.
Oh, Mike. Oh, you froze up there for a second, Mike.
Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So no, and I just wanted to say, you had touched on having the right equipment. Again, you could have the biggest, baddest Spartan warrior on the block, but if you don't have the right tool to do the job, it's useless sitting there. So most of our viewers will come on a little bit later once they get off work and take a look at this. So again, anybody has any questions, please feel free to reach out to Eric, Emily, myself, or the team at StoneAge, and we would be more than happy to answer those for you. So listen,
leave a comment. We'll come back and we'll check comments. So if you got a question, leave something down in the comment box, and we'll be happy to answer.
And Ann, I know you're super busy. Frank, I don't know about you, but we'll get you guys back to work here. But again, thank you guys so much for
Wi-Fi connection.
Yeah,
Mike, my boss is probably listening, Mike.
Hey, boss. So listen, guys, we from everybody here at Spartan, I mean, we definitely thank you guys for your continued support. This is a fantastic partnership that we have, and we definitely look forward to having you guys back on again in the future and getting you guys back at our plant. So with that, you guys have a great weekend, and thank you again for being on.
You guys too.
Guys.
Thanks.
See you guys.
Awesome. Nice
I
job.
love that too. Emily?
I'm here.
She's here.
Oh, again, it was great having Ann and Frank on. I know I've said it a few times on here, but it's a great partnership that we have with them. They are doing some big things in the industry along with us at Spartan. So again, Ann and Frank, thank you guys again for being on. So Eric, any closing thoughts?
No, just again, everybody be safe out there. I mean, we're starting to see light at the end of the tunnel. Things are starting to return to very slowly starting to return to hopefully a sense of normalcy, but don't let your guard down while you're out there, guys. If you're having trouble with any kind of PPE or anything, reach out to us and we'll help in any way we can. Em, you want to tease episode 7?
You know, I'm drawing a blank on episode 7. What do we
This
have?
guy, it's all about me.
Oh, how could you draw? Did you do that on purpose?
No.
All right, so next week we got a live demonstration. So I will be here at my shop in Cincinnati, and we're going to take a 1065 out, and we're going to simulate some root intrusion. We're going to show you the proper way how to run a electromechanical machine, and especially how to clean through tree roots. So you definitely don't want to miss next week. That could save you a lot of money on damaged cable. So with that, guys, thank you again for tuning in. Again, if you guys have questions later on, Eric, Emily, and myself are always on social media. Looking forward to talking to you guys and answering any questions you have. So with that, please stay safe and have a great weekend. Sewer Raiders, signing off.
See you guys.